Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and here I'm going to update you on where I am at, and show you some highlights of this Richard Petty 70 Plymouth Superbird here that I've been building. And this is a conglomeration of two kits, a kit bash here. So those of you guys have been following along, great. Thank you for returning and joining in on the fun. Those of you guys that may have just been catching this for the first time, this is the original Johann Petty Superbird, and it's 1/25th scale. And I'm combining that with the Salvinos JR 71 Dodge Charger stock car chassis. Box arts are appearing, and just having some fun with it. But I've done a lot of work and a lot of kit bashing, and getting this chassis to fit and work, and it fits pretty well. And but I was just tweaking and doing a bunch of stuff to it. So some of the things I've done is, and many of you noticed, I filled in a lot of the stuff here, and the chassis is multiple pieces. So if you're familiar with the chassis, then you can recognize the work that I've done to it. And now it's pretty much, fully assembled. Got all the parts painted the corporate blue, and then petty blue. Left the gas tank painted petty blue, which it appears that they painted the entire car. And then anything that was unbolted was painted later. So it's kind of, how I approached building this at this point. Of course, there's fingerprints and stuff on here I haven't cleaned off, and there's a lot, still to do, but getting all of this fitted, a lot of sanding, a lot of modifications, and just a bunch of little ones. So, if you've been following along, you can see them all on the channel and my updates, videos, and everything. Didn't clear back here, but this is covered by the trunk. The trunk does not open, but all of the rest of this is visible through the rear window. So some things I got updated. I got these parts in there, the blower motor for the rear diff cooler right there, and of course the fire extinguisher, and rating my decals and stuff for it, and miscellaneous gauges. The steering wheel is actually one of the few parts that I used from the Johann kit. So I cut it, drilled the back of it, made it fit the steering column. So there's the dash. I got some miscellaneous gauges that I just rated my parts box for, and the Plymouth logo on the dash, which I see in the current car, but I don't believe he raced with an emblem on the dash. I did put the boxes right there, the ignition boxes. So it's electronic ignition, voltage regulators, and ballast resistors, 2 sets of them. But from what I can see on one of the real cars, it's way up under here. It's not right there, but right there it's within reach. And got the shifter in there with the white ball, and then just detail painted a little bit of the silver buckles and stuff on the seat belts, and got all that in there. So getting all that in there is kind of a pain. I did put the rearview mirror in there, so you can see it right there. It's part of the Salvinos JR kit, so I decided to use it and put it on there. And so it's there. And then, got the Hemi in there. If you're noticing, I did decide that I'm going to use a distributor with the wires. I drilled the tiny little holes right there. I haven't routed them yet. I'm trying to figure a couple of things out here. But so 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, so been a few times now. I've counted 9 wires, so there's a coil. But from what I can see in one of the cars, the only one I've seen under hood, there's 2 coils here, right up here, but this bottle isn't here. So there's 2 coils. But rather than remove this bottle after all of that work and not realizing it, because that's just right from the Salvinos JR kit, I left that. And, I went and found a coil, drilled it. It's sitting right here. And, but its bracket is mounted down low on the bottom. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to mount it. And, as far as detail, and, I really can't mount it here. I really don't have much to mount it to. Plus the bracket's on the bottom. I've been tempted to mount it to the intake somewhere, or to one of the heads, or even the back firewall right here. and run the wire to it, but the air cleaner goes there. So looking at getting all that done. So I'm figuring all that. Oh, the steering gear is in here. You can see the column here, master cylinder, all of the suspension and steering stuff. So a lot of stuff in here, both upper and lower radiator hoses, all parts of the kit, and all of these coolers, the 2 coolers and the radiator. Cool seeing all that stuff. Of course, the headers, the pipes, got the black in the pipes to detail it a bit. And then I went with the yellow drive shaft, just like the directions kind of mentioned. But I made sure to paint the yokes steel, and then I painted a little dot to simulate the U-joint. So I'm just kind of having a little bit of fun with it. Then this thing here, which is the cooler, but it's like a pump, as best I can tell, because there's a cooler over here that is technically on this side, but probably should be on this side. But anyway, there's that on the rear diff painted, and just painted the way it's said to paint it. And the directions kind of tell you to paint these leaf springs black and these shackles black, but the whole axle blue and some of the other stuff blue. So I just painted it all blue, which some of the undershot pictures I've seen of the reference car I was using, the whole underside is all of that stuff's painted blue, not black. So I'm liking how this is coming out. So then the next couple steps is, just a couple little things to finish. And I'll get this slipped into place. I'm just a little nervous because I got to slide it back and forth and in and out and get it in there. But the body, last time you saw the body, I was putting all the decals on it. Well, since then, obviously, it has been clear coated. So she's looking great. So super excited about that. Gave it plenty of time to harden and dry. And I did 4 bodies that day. 4 or 5? 4 bodies. So this one's been cleared. It's been just sitting and drying and gassing out and everything. So real happy with the way it came out. So I just basically got a foil around the windshield and the pillars here. Foil the back window. Get the glass in. Painted the whole inside, clear coating in there. But she was falling off. I had it hanging off the back here. Again, I'm not too worried about this area because the trunk doesn't open. You're not going to see in there. And same with the back side of here. I wasn't too worried about clearing back there. Plus, I kind of needed someplace to try and hold it. So this was the same thing. I had a piece of tape holding it here, but it fell. So I ended up letting this thing dry on a bottle, kind of like this. And left a couple of marks on the inside. But from the side, they're really hard to see. Plus, the glass goes in there. But all the rest of this is really visible and came out really nice. And I cleared all along the insides and everything. So the trick is to not mess all this up while I try and get that tub in there. So I'm kind of thinking about using some wax paper or parchment paper, putting it all in here and using that as a slider, get the chassis in and then pull the parchment paper out. I have that idea. If anybody's done that, let me know if it works or it's a good idea. Don't normally have to worry about scratching the inside, but since this one's all blue and everything and heavily clear coated, although, now that it's heavily clear coated, it'd be harder to scratch, but still, in theory, it should be because it's a much more durable paint. For those that don't know, I actually use Sherwin-Williams Real Automotive Clear Coat for cars. Pretty expensive stuff, but I've got like a full gallon of it, and you pretty much mix, 1 or 2 ounces of it and spray and do it in small batches. So real happy with the way this thing came out. Oh, and I put the photo etch hood pins, got 2 on the trunk here. And I also put 3 across the front. Those were fun, especially getting that one to bend. You see that one? I got it bent right on the thing. Came out nice, but destroyed one trying to bend it. Got a second one, bent it. But it worked out. And these are from ProTech. They had sponsored the channel before and sent me some of these. I went and bought more of them because I only had 3 left of the ones I used. And I needed 5 for this kit. So bought another, actually 2 bags, but, bought some extras. Because I really like these. They're very simple to use too. And they're pretty realistic looking. So I'm pretty happy with those. So got 5 on this thing. And now this thing is pretty much almost ready. Got the foiling to do, get the windows in there, which Windows are right here. I did start polishing them, but I need to do another round of polishing the scratches out of them. But they're looking pretty good, but I still got a mark or two in them. But then again, it is a race car. So, and then considering how old this glass is, or this kit is, it's weird to think it's 56 years old. But anyway, you know, being issued in 1970. I don't know if the Petty kits were ever reissued. They may have been, but don't really know. I know the Sox and Martin kit came later, and that's what this body was a repurposed one from a Sox and Martin kit, because I didn't have the body, but I got, you know, a whole nother kit. So pretty excited about this one. So I think the next time you might see this thing, it might be done. But we will see. I just got the wheels here. They're painted and clear coated as well. Just got to detail paint some little things on them, put them together. Got to paint the window net. This is just a raw white plastic, but I think I'm going to hit it with some just white base coat to give it more depth to it, because in raw plastic it doesn't look quite as good. And just a couple of tiny little things, but I think this is pretty much all the parts I have left to put on it. So maybe next time you see this, it might be completely done. I'm not pushing myself or rushing. Got, you know, 4 other projects I'm kind of playing with as well, so I'm kind of bouncing around the two, but I'm pretty excited about this one. You know, I'd like to see it finished and sitting on the wheels and everything. So anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, all your comments, likes, shares, subscribes. Appreciate all of it. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.